Hey guys, it's KMCers. I'm Kiersten and welcome back to another true crime video. So today we are going to be talking about Dominic and Davion. So let's just jump right into this. Dominic Anthony Russo was born on September 24th of 2001. He was 20 years old. He was from Strongsville, Ohio. His parents were Christine and Frank. Siblings named Angelo, Christopher, Nicole, Michael. He was described to be an extremely sweet person, always there for anybody. He knew who he was, and he had actually opened 2 companies, and he had plans for the future of starting a clothing line. Davion Flannigan was born on March 11th of 2003. He was 19 years old at the time. He was from Strongsville, Ohio. His parents, he was actually adopted by Jamie and Scott, and he did have 2 biological sisters, Davia and Dahlia, and he was described as a kind-hearted person with an infectious smile, a beautiful sense of humor. He loved to play sports, especially football, but he also did play baseball, track, swimming. He did make friends very easily. He was very faithful to his family and friends and God, and he had hopes that he would open his own barbershop one day. Let's talk about the incident. On July 31st of 2022, Dominic and his girlfriend Mackenzie, along with Davion, got into Mackenzie's car. Mackenzie was driving. And at around 5:30 in the morning, Mackenzie crashed her car into a brick wall of a building going 100 miles per hour. Mackenzie was trapped in the driver's side. Firefighters actually had to pry her out of the vehicle. Dominic and Davion were pronounced dead at the scene. Mackenzie was found unconscious and not breathing, but they did bring her back to life. And took her to the hospital where she was in critical condition for a little bit. Now let's talk about the investigation and the trial. It's kind of like intertwined, so I'm going to try my best. Investigators say it appears that the vehicle failed to stop at the end of the road. It traveled across the lawn of the business, hit a sign, and then hit the brick wall. Police say that they believe that the crash happened a lot sooner than when it was discovered, because that road was just not very populated. There wasn't a lot of people out in that early hours, and Mackenzie also didn't travel on this road as her regular routine drive. It was a road that she had visited a few days prior to the crash. And they also said if it had happened sooner and was discovered a lot sooner, maybe the boys could have survived. They did hold a visual candlelight on August 1st for the boys. Dominic was laid to rest on August 8th, and then on August 15th, Davion was also laid to rest. And on November 4th of 2022, Mackenzie was arrested for aggravated vehicle homicide. I think at the time she was maybe like, what, 16, 17, somewhere around there. But she was tried as an adult. She had a 4-day trial, and during that time there was a lot said, and this is kind of the overview of what was said in her trial. That the couple was a toxic relationship, that they had dated for 3 to 4 years, and Mackenzie even lived with the Russo family for majority of their relationship. Angelo, Dominic's brother, testified that the couple had broken up often. They were kind of always at each other. He also testified that she would make violent threats to his brother, threatening to crash her car with Dominic inside. And on July 17th, 2022, just 2 weeks before the accident, Mackenzie actually was driving on the interstate with Dominic in the passenger seat, and they were getting in an argument or something, and she had actually threatened to crash the vehicle with Dominic inside. Dominic ended up calling his mother after this and asked to be picked up, and instead of his mom coming to get him, a friend of his came to get him, and when he showed up, he saw that the passenger car door was opened, and he was on the phone with his friend the whole entire time he was driving there, and could hear Mackenzie say, "I will crash this car right now." And then When he got there, he also heard and saw Mackenzie striking Dominic with both of her hands. Dominic got out of the car and just left with his friend. During another altercation that happened in July of 2022, Dominic was actually recording Mackenzie making the threats towards him. And in the video, you can hear the altercation between the two. And you can also hear Mackenzie say repeatedly degrading Dominic and threatening him, damaging his property. At one point, he locked her outside of the house because he didn't want her inside the house because he didn't really feel comfortable. And he tried to calm her down, and no matter what he did, they were still going at it. She even started to threaten that she would key his car and break down the door handles and break down the door, and that if he didn't let her in, this is what she said: "You're going to come open this door right now, or I'm going to be a serious effing problem." He ultimately stopped recording this altercation. He eventually let her in. He did call his mom for help during the situation. Mackenzie's defense argued that the situation was just one-sided and that she and Russo mutually fought each other. It wasn't just her always doing it. Her attorney also stated that there was no way of proving that she intentionally crashed the vehicle. She wouldn't deliberately crash the vehicle to end their relationship like the prosecutors had believed it to be. Davion just happened to be an innocent passenger in this whole thing. He was just looking for a ride home, and he just ended up being the collateral, which is horrible. A security video was shown of the crash itself in the courtroom, showing that around 5:30, Mackenzie turned onto the road. She ended up flooring her 2018 Toyota Camry for 3/4 of a mile just to get her car to 100 miles per hour before she jerked the steering wheel a few times and then hit the side and crashed into the vehicle. A certified forensic mechanic testified that her vehicle data recorder showed that moments before the crash, she pressed on the gas pedal at full capacity and she never hit the brake once. It was revealed that a person spotted the vehicle crash 45 minutes after it actually happened and called the police. A friend testified that Mackenzie, Dominic, and Davion had spent the night at a friend's house and was smoking marijuana. They did do a THC and blood alcohol test, and she was above legal limit. They originally wanted to charge her with a DUI, but they ultimately wanted to get her on murder charges, so they didn't charge the DUI. Her phone records did show that days before the crash, she did drive the same exact road, so they're trying to prove that it was premeditated and it was completely on purpose. Davion's mom, Jamie, and his sisters, and as well as Dominic's mom, Kiersten, and his brother, all testified in court. Listening to them is heart-wrenching. It is heartbreaking. Mackenzie did read an apology letter in court. On August 14th, 2023, Mackenzie was found guilty on all 12 charges. She was convicted of 2 counts of aggravated vehicle homicide, 4 counts of felonious assault, 4 counts of murder, 1 count of drug possession, and 1 count of processing criminal tool. The judge ended up concluding his statement by saying this, word for word: "This is not reckless driving. This was murder. She had a mission and she executed it with precision. The decision was death. She chose a course of death and destruction that day. Mackenzie alone made the decision to drive an obscure route, a route she visited a few days before, and a route not routinely taken by her. Mackenzie alone chose a time to make the drive, early in the morning, when any reasonable person would expect a few people would be nearby to witness it or offer life-saving assistance." August 21st of 2023, Mackenzie was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences, with the eligibility of parole after serving 15 years. The aftermath is very short. Jamie and Scott, Davion's parents, started a scholarship at the All-State Hairstyling and Barber College in honor of their son, and they do have a GoFundMe for that. But I am gonna go ahead and leave you at that and leave you with some photos of the boys to celebrate their life and remember them. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below what case I should do next, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on that bell notification so you're notified when we post every single Tuesday and occasionally on Fridays when we feel like it. This is KMCers whatever, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.